Hi. Okay, quick story, and hopefully a pretty good teaching to lead for today moment. Last Friday, I put a post on Facebook that said, basically it said, talk less, listen more, try to think about somebody else's point of view, and compromise. And I believe in those things and strongly. I don't always follow through on them. I got to work on them just like everybody else. But I know those and believe in them, and I think about it a lot. But that day I posted that in part because the day before I had a kind of a crazy afternoon. I was going from a hospital to a dinner in Cambridge, Mass, and I had to run home, shower, get ready for the dinner, and then I had to stop at a store to pick up something to bring to the dinner. It was a potluck. So I'm rushing to the store, and I wasn't being patient, and I was a little stressed, and I'm not going to make myself sound good. I'm going to incriminate myself. But going to the store, when I pulled into the parking lot, I completely made an illegal left-hand turn. Completely illegal. You were supposed to go further down and then pull into the lot. And I went in where I wasn't supposed to. And in addition to that, there was a car in front of me, and she was going really slow, and she stopped. I think she was looking for a spot. And I ended up kind of whizzing around her, pulled out from behind her, and went past her to go so I can go park. And next thing you know, I have a cop behind me. Actually, one cop car, two cops in there. And I'm like, great. So there's no way I'm getting out of this one. But I knew I was wrong. So I parked, and I got out of the car, and one of the cops came out and talked to me. And I said, listen, I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, I know exactly what I did. It was wrong. I apologize. I'm rushed. I'm a little stressed. It's been a crazy day. I have nothing to say other than I'm sorry, and I know exactly what I did wrong, and I just wanted to let you know. And he asked me a few questions, and we talked through it, and I shared a few circumstances from my day, and he shared his take. And long story short, he went back to his vehicle and looked up all my stuff, and he came back and he said, listen, I'm going to give you a warning. And I'm not going to write you up because, I had 2 or 3 infractions, and he could have written me up for over $300 in tickets. And he said, I hope that you think about this next time, especially he was really pissed that I went around the car in front of me. And he's like, I'm teaching my son right now how to drive. And somebody behind us the other day when I was driving with him honked a horn at him. And it really freaked my son out. He's learning how to drive. I go, you know what? You don't need to say another word. I totally get it, and I truly mean this. I go, listen, this, if nothing else, is a good lesson for me. I will never make that illegal left-hand, and I mean this, I will not make that illegal left-hand turn again. That was dumb on my part. I was rushed, and I knew I was wrong. But my point of the story is I shared all this with him. He listened. I listened to him in return. Sometimes it's pretty stressful when cops pull us over, and, sometimes we might want to get out of it, or we didn't think we did something that wrong. Well, I knew I did, and, I just shared a little bit of context and then listened to him, and he listened to me, and we talked both before he went to his car to write up a warning ticket and after. And at the end of the day, he ended up giving me a warning, and I said, listen, I learned a good lesson from this too, and I really apologize. So, those circumstances are few and far between, hopefully, for most of us. We're not getting pulled over every day. But the point is that in that situation, we both listened and we both talked. And he understood my point of view and situation. And I really appreciate that. I mean, I'm very grateful, not just for saving the money from the ticket, but that he took the time and made the effort to listen to what I had to say. And I think it helped that I was I took ownership of the situation. I mean, I admitted I was wrong. And I said, listen, I know I have nothing to say other than I'm sorry, and here's a little bit of why, but I owned it. And then I let him give me his perspective and say what he had to say. And it had a really good ending because I learned a good lesson. He told me what he needed to tell me, and I'm not going to make that turn again, not like that. So, you know what? Talking more sometimes has its place, but often let's talk a little less and let's listen. And most importantly, I say is, let's try to understand. I'm not always good at that. And I have family members who could tell you, I need to get better at listening, and not so much listening, but understanding their situations. And we need to try and do that. And you know what the funny thing is, and like this ticket situation with me last week, it usually leads to a good result. I mean, I'm not just sitting there saying I'm glad I got out of the money. I learned a good lesson. So hopefully that's a good story and you guys can have a takeaway from that too. I went to a networking event, last thing real quick tonight, and people don't always do a good job of talking less. Everybody, and I understand it's human nature. We wanna share, we wanna talk about ourselves, but try and listen when you can. It really, really helps situations. So anyway, thanks for listening again tonight. Hope you all had a great day, and I will see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.